Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday and happy day 19. Not sure I know the number of the day right, but Stencilpalooza. Today is the first of two videos coming from you today. I am using the scattered pencil stencil. I have it kind of set up already. I'm going to go ahead and get it started and go down to my desk cam. Just a quick note of a couple things. Stencilpalooza is only available for this month. On September 1st, the stencils go away. So if you want any, you should go ahead and purchase. You can purchase one stencil at a time if you prefer. And shipping is only $1, whether you buy one stencil, the bundle, there's a week 1 bundle, a week 2 bundle, 3, 4, and then the whole kit and caboodle bundle. However, if you add anything other than a Stencilpalooza stencil to it, regular shipping applies. So if you like day 1 and day 14, you can go ahead and buy those together. And like I said, shipping's only $1 on those. Any links down below are affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using one of those links, I greatly appreciate it. I get a little small commission from that, and it helps me bring you content like these videos. And let's head down to the desk. All right. So I've already got my stencil in because I didn't want to spend the time doing all of this masking. It's a bunch of pencils and school's starting here Tuesday. So I thought maybe I would make a card using that for like teaching. I have already masked off with some low-tack tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm just using this little bit of this Post-it note tape that I have, and it's very hard to see, but it's right here where the pencils lines are, and I'm just covering up kind of where it ends. Like you can see where it comes to a point, and then the arc comes up, and I'm just covering that up because I'm going to make a rainbow of pencils, and then I'm going to color that in with some brown ink. So I'm going to only use 3 colors today. I'm going to use Red Flag, Shooting Star, and Crybaby, and that is going to make our rainbow of colors. And then of course I have my cookie dough and my Black Widow for my pencil, that part there, and then the lead. So I'm going to start with my Shooting Star. I have my Stick and Stay pigment palette here. Ooh, that looks like it's got some schmutz on it. And I'm going to start with yellow because yellow is the lighter color. I've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So that's perfect. So red, orange, yellow. So I need to do from here, orange, yellow, and then green, these. And I'm going to kind of go, I don't have any pixie spray on here. I just have it on my pigment palette, just because. And then I'm going to go up and catch the same ones. And I'm just going to kind of go up. I can go around a little bit, but I'm trying not to move because I didn't use, it sticks up there. It sticks on the side, but it's not perfectly stuck down to my paper. So I'm going to try to avoid the lines so I can try to make crisp lines. And then I'm just going to go in and do a little bit of each. All right. And I do have my pigment palette, Stick and Stay pigment palette upside down. And that's only because, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the writing is upside down if you were to look at that. And that's only because I like to be able to grab my ink from my right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add in, we're going to go over the yellow, do a little bit more of the red here. And then I'll go up. It's okay if you get it a little darker at the top or the bottom. It gives it a little bit of shadow. We're just going over that just to kind of mix it in. So today's stencils, there are 2 stencils released today. The other ones are released 1 per day, except on Saturday. There's no stencil released on Saturday. And that is, these 2 are some that are the most requested from the archives. So if you want them, like this is like a second chance to get these 2 today. There's been 2 each Sunday. And like I said, if you are interested in them, they go away on September 1st. So now is a chance to get them. Okay, I'm going to get the red. I'm going to leave my red ink pad here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my blue. Now I am going to wipe this off just a hair I don't care about the yellow so much, but I do care about the red because I don't want the red to contaminate my yellow or my blue. All right. And this is Crybaby. And I didn't clean my brush, so it might be a little darker. We got to fix that. Let's see if I can fix that here a little bit. It was overlapping a little bit. I might overlap that one a little bit too, but that's fine. We'll make it work. It just doesn't, pencils when they're sharpened, they're not perfectly, you know, they've got kind of ridges on them because the pencils have ridges. All right. So for me, what I found, and I may grab the purple just to make it a little bit more purple. I found it depends on how much blue or purple you use, blue or red you use, is the color of your purple. So I'm just going to go up and down instead of in circles, just to get that color in there. It looks like we might need a little bit more yellow to make it a little bit more green, just until I'm happy. And we'll do the same thing up here. I'll go over, might just do one green one up at the top there. You are more than welcome to use a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I just thought it would be nice to use the 3 inks. I haven't done that in a while, and I do like to do that. This way a little bit. Not that I care if my colors overlap and blend. All right. That looks pretty good. We're going to wipe that off a little bit because I'm going to go back with my yellow and my red in there. And I don't want, like I said, to contaminate my ink pads. It's not that big of a deal, but it just makes it a little bit cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my red here. Grab my red. We're going to go over this a little bit more. This may end up having, I might need to grab some purple because it does look kind of like a hot mess. And it's not looking super purple for me. So I might grab a purple here. I'm going to grab my Pompous, which is very quickly becoming my favorite purple. Just add a little bit of that to it, just to give it a little. When I pull away the other colors, it might be easier to see the purple. So I think that we are going to go in with our Crown Me and just add a little bit darker, just because it's not looking purple enough for me. There we go. That's got more of a purple hue. Sometimes I can get the color just perfect with the mixing of the two, and sometimes it's just not quite enough. So we are going to add that in so it's look a little more purple. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then it seems like I need a little bit more blue in here. And then we'll add a little bit more yellow to those two as well. Okay, I'm going to grab my smaller blending brushes for this. Wipe that off because I don't want to get any blue on my ink pad just in case. Just go in and add a little bit more. It's nice to have these blending brushes that are kind of like this because you can add a little bit more and it makes it a little bit, if you have a skinnier brush, and I'm going to do a little bit more over this. See if I can make this a little bit more orangey. This up here turned out to be quite orange. These turned out to be a little bit more reddy orange, but that's okay. That looks pretty good. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put those colors away, and we're going to peel and reveal. So got all my little points here. We're going to save some of that tape because we are going to mask off. the tips. You can see right here where I didn't get it completely covered, and it's not, but that's okay, because we're going to do some other things to this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my stencil a little bit here. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to grab our tape and we're going to go backwards this way, but I'm just going to cover up kind of the color. I mean, I don't have to cover it up perfectly because it's okay if the brown gets in that a little bit. And well, it might not. My ink is wet, so we're just going to go for it. We're just going to leave it. And I'm going to grab my one of my little blending brushes in my cookie dough. We're just going to go over the tips. We're going to do the whole tip. I'm not worried about the tiny tip not being black with lead because we can do that. We can go over the brown with that. We're just going to go quick in. And then I'm just going to pull it down just to kind of, it's okay that it gets lighter as it gets towards the color. There we go. Okay. And then for the very tiny, now you could probably go in with a pen if you wanted to, but I have a little teeny tiny brush, and I'm just going to grab a little bit and I'm just going to do the tip of each one. Just to give you the hint that there's some ink on there. Each one doesn't have to be the same because, you know, everyone sharpens their pencils a little bit different, or, you know, you use your pencil. And then we'll go down. All right. Now let's reveal this and see what it looks like. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at how fun that is. I love it so much. I am going to pull this up. Bring that up to the top. Look at those. Look at how great that is. It looks fantastic. And I got fairly straight lines because we didn't do a lot of rounding on our brush. I'm going to go ahead and cover my pigment palette here because I'm going to put my Misty down. Now, what I decided is I pulled out a couple of stamps. Now, I did not check to see if these are available. I believe they still are. I love our 4x4 stamp sets, and I grabbed today's Make Today Amazing. And that is going to be stamped right there, right towards the top. I think that's going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Black Widow ink because the Black Widow is a stellar ink and it blends well with its stellar ink pads or with the inks down below. We're just going to stamp that down a couple of times. We're basically going to make a 1-layer card today. This is our card panel. Do a little bit more. You could totally do heat. I would make sure your colored ink is dry and then heat emboss the Raven detail ink, or I'm sorry, the Raven embossing powder over this to get that nice lacquered look. But I'm just going to go with just the basics today. Awesome. I think that looks fabulous. Okay, I am going to just quickly kind of just wipe my stamp. I'll do some squeaky clean. If you haven't tried out our Pear Necessity, oh my gosh, is it amazing? It has now become my favorite. I have to order another one so I don't run out. I think it's great. Pear and peach are my two favorite flavors. Like if I'm going to taste something to start, and it just smells so good. The peach one's good too, but the pear is, in my opinion, so much better. Now, obviously, if you had a good luck, you had a stamp set that said, have a great year, something like that, that would be perfect as well. But what I decided to do is I grabbed this Wonder Words, and this was in stock the last time I checked. I I will link everything that is still in stock down below. But I'm going to grab this. This was part of a class Christopher had, and then it was just recently released. And I am going to grab this, and I love it because we've got this Rise, Bloom, Believe, Create, Inspire, Grow, Spark, Hope, Dream, Me and You, and Celebrate. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put some words on our pencils. I'm not going to do all of the pencils, but I think it's going to be really fun. I'm just going to put a few down first, decide how many I want, and then I'll see if I need to. So I've got Create, Inspire, I have Grow, can I skip? I can almost skip every two. So if I do Inspire, I do Create, and I like Spark. Okay, let's see if we can do this one and this one. And then I have Grow. Okay, yep, we can do that one. And I'm going to do Believe. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to lay them up. I'm going to pull them out, and I'm going to layer one down at a time, and then we'll stamp them all at once. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we have 5 stamps. And I'm just going to eyeball it on our, I'm going to grab my pencil lip here because it does not stick to the eraser. Thank you to Sandy for reminding me that. All right, so then I'm going to just pick that one up. And then I've got Believe. I'm going to lay that one in here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Close enough. Believe is on that one. So we have Spark. Got a little schmutz on that one. Oh, there we go. Create. A little puppy just came up the stairs. I think he's looking at me. He wants to go outside. He's going to have to wait until I have this done. Almost done. And Inspire. And then go ahead and grab that Black Widow ink again. I may stamp these down several times, especially because this is the first time I'm using. I had 2 versions of this stamp set. This is my second. I have 2 of them. I got one in the class, and then I got another one in another thing. So we're going to put those down quick. I love it. One more time. And then we're going to pull this off. And all I need to do is add this to a card base. Now, you could totally cut this down. I am going to leave it in 1 layer card. So I'm going to grab my card base here. I'm sorry if you hear the whining next to me. So this is just a 1 layer card. You could totally cut it down if you want. I don't want to. I want to leave that full color. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card base. And then for just a little bit of fun, go ahead and put it in this corner because I can trim it if I need to, if it's too big. So I get it on. Make today amazing. And then I'm just going to grab some gems. Got my crystals here. And we're just going to add a few crystals to the card. I think I'll do one in the center of each. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to put one right here. 7. So I have 7. I guess I need to put out some more. You could do different colors too. I'm just going to do them right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to bring that up so you can kind of see one way that you could use the scattered pencil stencil from Stencilpalooza. I will be back later today with the other stencil video. I appreciate you guys all so much. Have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye now.